Hey everyone, my name is Karthik. I'm from Hyderabad. I work for a startup called Finum, where my job is basically getting data from one system to another, nothing else. So for that, I need to run a few jobs where I need to schedule a particular cron at a specified time. And I most of the times deal with a problem where people come up with a different flavor of cron, something like quartz or Unix cron. So for that, it has become a very hard thing for me to explain it or know the next schedule. So I wanted to build a simple API where, given a cron expression, I need to identify which flavor it is and then give the next execution dates, or preferably explain it also. I'll just show what the code I have been written. If I could do git blame, it doesn't show ChatGPT, but it should. Um, so I have created three files which has three functions basically. The first thing is basically it takes a cron expression, it identifies what flavor it is. So this I had to tinker a lot around because ChatGPT whatever it gave it is kind of basic, but there are a lot of edge cases wherever there's a question mark, or if you take AWS cron expressions, there is something called as L character, which is like every month or whatever. The second thing is pretty straightforward. There is a package in Python called cron descriptor, which takes a cron expression and describes it. This worked flawlessly. There was no need for me to make any changes here. And coming to the execution dates, yeah, it needed a little more tinkering here because it was not straightforward. Whenever there's a cron expression, there is only one library that could give the next execution dates accurately, and that is Cron-izer. But it doesn't support all sorts of quads and AWS cron expressions.
Okay.
So I had to make a little tinkering around here. Most of my time in the 2 sessions of 40 minutes went into testing whatever I have written. So I'll just show you that. So if I take a cron expression example, the flavor one, it will tell you what flavor it is. Currently, whatever given is like it's an AWS CloudWatch thing. Also, I can give you a quads one. It's kind of look weird just for the sake of testing, but yeah. So it's a quads one.
Okay.
And if I use the same to describe it, yeah, we're going to get its description every minute. Yeah, still the question mark is a problem everywhere with the quads thing.
Right.
So if I take another quartz expression, this is kind of a little simple. Yeah, it describes what day and what time it needs to execute. And if I give it to the another API, which is get next executions, it's going to, yeah, give the next execution dates. I mean, it's going to give 10. I was about to make it configurable so that, people can give how many next execution dates they can get. And the idea was to have a simple HTML where add a form and you can just do it through UI, because this is a little hard. Swagger UI is not friendly for everybody. So that's what I've built. And I already had an API where I had something like the Mongo utils thing where I constantly needed to get the current UTC time object ID, and given a date time, I needed the object ID. These two things were already there. I deployed this to AWS. I just added these three endpoints recently.
Nice. A quick question for you is, why is it an API and not a library?
There are already enough libraries. I didn't want to get into that of building the library, because it's just that there are enough libraries. I just needed to aggregate something and build an API. That's the only thing I was missing.
Okay, fair. And I really like the description you have at the top.
Yeah, I could get a heart attack, no doubt, because there is no authentication for this. People could abuse it.
Fair. So an authentication awaits.
Yes.
Cool.
Probably I won't add it because, at work, people don't want me to use their resources to, deploy tools that only I use. So I could use this easily at work. So I would keep it free, open no authentication.
Wonderful. This is great. By the way, how are you trying to use this? Like, what is your use case for this?
So what happens, as I already told in the starting, that I have a different jobs that are running uh, on. I mean, those are configured by the user. They
Mhm.
give their own cron flavor and all. So
Okay.
what usually happens is that a user, I mean, a developer has to sit through and understand what flavor it is. Then change it to a certain flavor. So we basically use cron, a quartz cron, but
Mhm.
user can give any sort of a cron. The final goal is to first understand what flavor has been given to us. Next, try to automate the process of converting from one cron flavor to another cron flavor,
Okay.
so that we have a standard where I can just give the endpoint to the user saying that just put it there and give the result, or we can do that automatically within our system.
Fair, fair. Okay. Wonderful. I see it.